Fox News alert, Joe Biden's having Donald Trump arrested.
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with felony violations of our national security laws, as well as participating in a conspiracy to obstruct justice.
Jesse Waters Primetime is going to tell you something tonight that no other show is telling you. Everyone has the law wrong. And don't take it from me, take it from an Obama judge who ruled that former presidents can decide what documents are personal and which are presidential. It all started with Bill Clinton. President Clinton taped conversations he had with other foreign leaders for 8 years. What did Clinton do with these tapes? Well, Clinton took them home to Chappaqua and stuffed them in a sock drawer. These tapes were about as highly classified as you can get. These conversations President Clinton had with heads of state about war, about national security strategy, about nuclear posture. Did Bill Clinton declassify these before he took them home to Chappaqua? No. He took them home and he stuffed them in the sock drawer. Judicial Watch sued for access to these presidential records, and then a judge appointed by Barack Obama ruled that these are Bill Clinton's personal tapes, and nobody can have them. Not Judicial Watch, not the National Archives, no one. Quote, the decision to segregate personal materials from presidential records is made by the president during the president's term and in his sole discretion. Since the president is completely entrusted with the management and even the disposal of presidential records during his time in office, it would be difficult for this court to conclude that Congress intended that he would have less authority to do what he pleases with what he considers to be his personal records. That's it. Case closed.
Interesting. So you can add both Clintons to the folks that had classified documents. Wow. See, I knew about Hillary, right? Obviously, we know about Joe and Mike Pence. Hillary wasn't a president. Mike Pence wasn't a president. I mean, he was vice. And neither was Joe Biden. Trump's was an actual president. He is the actual one that can declassify these documents. Allegedly, is what I'm hearing presidents can. So if he's being charged, why isn't everybody else? See, I wouldn't listen. I want to put this out on Front Street, and excuse me. I just woke up not too long ago. But I wouldn't have an issue with Trump being charged if Joe was being charged, if Hillary was being charged, if Mike Pence was being, like, if all of them were in court already fighting, these legal battles already, all right, fine, cool, okay, whatever. But none of them are. None of them. Not a single one. Not a single one. Okay, maybe Joe still, allegedly. But I think they just cleared Mike Pence very, very recently. I think right before he actually announced that he was running for president, which waste of his time. Absolute waste of his time. I've had a conversation with someone who's not even really into politics like that. And even they were like, Mike Pence? What? And it was just the funniest thing, like, you ever had a conversation with somebody who's not even into politics, doesn't really pay too much attention to politics, just has a general knowledge, right? Whatever they, might happen to see on the news. They're not like a news watcher or anything, but, but to hear that from somebody like that was absolutely hilarious. Mike Pence? Really? Why? For what? Not happening, Mike. Go sit down somewhere, all right? Go sit down. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you. You're a Democrat now. But anyway, yeah, man, I wouldn't have an issue with it if everybody else was being charged. But the fact that, nobody else is being charged is just crazy to me. But then also, for my legal experts, isn't there something called, like, legal precedents? Right? Courts typically go by what courts previously went by. And if that's the case, this should be cut and dry. We had Bill Clinton, a Bill Clinton case already, apparently. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know, please.
The president, former president, has sole discretion on what he determines to be his personal records, tapes with foreign leaders or documents related to foreign leaders. Donald Trump can decide what documents are personal and what are presidential. He can sift through them and return what he wants to the archives. Classifications have nothing to do with any of this. Don't get bogged down in the classification game. The president's records fall under the Presidential Records Act, which is not a criminal statute. Nothing about this document drama is criminal. Every president, when they leave office, takes things back home with them. Some documents go to the archives, some stay at the president's office or house, and then some go to presidential libraries. All presidents negotiate through lawyers with the archives what's personal and what's presidential, what stays and what goes. This happens every time. And it's never led to a raid. It's never turned into a crime until the Biden administration turned it into a crime. George H.W. Bush's records ended up in a strip mall between a Chinese restaurant and a bowling alley.
What?
Bill Clinton didn't just have tapes in a sock drawer. He had docs in a car dealership in Little Rock. George W. Bush stored his in a warehouse in Texas. And Obama kept his at a defunct furniture store right across the street from Mickey D's. 30 FBI agents didn't show up to their doorsteps with guns. Their wives never had their underwear drawers rummaged through. Trump's lawyer should have filed a motion last spring immediately once he got a subpoena and argued that these records are personal under the Presidential Records Act. In fact, at the end of this case, President Trump will be able to argue for Joe Biden to return these personal documents back to Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago is where the former office of the presidency is, which is funded by taxpayers and protected by the Secret Service. Everybody knows this is all about stopping Trump before he can beat Biden in the election. Rachel Maddow straight up admitted it.
Oh.
Whether part of the issue here is not just that Trump has committed crimes, but that Trump has committed crimes and plans on being back in the White House. Do they consider, as part of a potential plea offer, something that would proscribe him from running for office again?
Plead guilty, promise not to run against Biden, and we won't throw you in jail.
Woo-wee. Oh, man. Goodness gracious, guys. That is hilarious. They are that terrified of that man. It might be time for part 3 of the Everybody's Leaving the Democrat Party video. Because I was coming across some good clips yesterday. Some great clips yesterday of folks very angry. Very, very angry. Including a clip that I probably can't post because the black gentleman in the video was... he was waving around a firearm. Angry that they're going after his president, Uncle Trump. So I probably won't post that one. Or I'll have to like blur out. No, because he was like holding it in front of his face too. I'd have to blur the crap out of that video. YouTube wouldn't like that one too much, waving around a firearm like that. But there are so many people, man, that are done with this BS. And I also came across some wild videos, man, some wild clips where people were like, man, hey, listen, if Trump gets charged, I can't even say what they said. I can't even say what they said. Like, they bought that accent, boss. That's all I can say. If Trump gets charged, they bought that accent. That's all I can say. I don't know how serious they were, or what, but yeah. I forgot the way he worded it though. Yeah, I can't even remember the way that it was worded, but it wasn't like a direct, but it was kind of like saying it in a roundabout way, like where it was like read between the lines and you can kind of understand what he's getting at. Like if these SOBs charge Uncle Trump and try to take him to jail, we're gonna have a problem. And I'll leave it at that. Like, I was coming across some crazy videos. So I think it might be time for part 3 of the everybody's leaving the Democrat Party. And I agree. They know Trump is going to win. They know it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. That's another thing. I came across a clip of even a few Democrats talking about, yes, if he makes it to the 24 election, he's going to win. Even Democrats know this, right? Everybody can see this from a mile away. Like, it's clear as day. You'd have to be a bat to not see it. As blind as a bat to not see it, you know? So yeah, they're trying anything and everything, including, hey, maybe a plea deal where you agreed to not run for president. BS.
The Biden administration wants to throw Donald Trump in prison for 100 years. 100. They want a former president of the United States who got more votes than any other incumbent in American history to die in prison. Why? Because of a dispute over presidential record keeping? What? This is crazy. He didn't start a war. He didn't take a bribe. He didn't sell out the country. He didn't collude with any enemies. He's not a traitor. And Joe Biden is so afraid to run against him without COVID that he's going to lock him up like some kind of drug trafficker or killer. This isn't going to fly. And Joe Biden's out there acting like he's got nothing to do with this. And the media wants you to believe that Joe Biden doesn't have a single fingerprint on the case. Really? Joe Biden signed off on the raid personally. Joe Biden set the raid in motion when he and his White House attorney waived Trump's privilege. Never been done before.
Is that true?
Joe's hand-picked attorney general is running the show.
Is that true? Joe signed off on that? I mean, he is the president, so, you know, I would assume that he had something to do with it. But like Jesse said, he's out here playing dumb. Oh, I don't know. I don't talk to them. You know? But, hey, y'all let me know.
Biden keeps telling us that Joe Biden has nothing to do with the Biden administration.
President Biden, have you spoken to Attorney General Merrick Garland yet?
I have not spoken to him at all. I'm not going to speak to him. I have no comment on what happened.
Joe Biden doesn't know anything about anything. He just plays dumb with everything. I don't know what my son does for a living. I don't know how he makes millions of dollars. I read about the Trump raid in the newspaper. I have no comment about my wingman arresting my opponent, who I'm losing to in the polls. The minute Joe Biden starts losing to Trump in the polls, he arrests him? Come on. This is a hit. You think this guy Jack Smith's clean, the special counsel? His wife's a Biden donor and works with Michelle Obama. The guy's a Democrat. He worked with Lois Lerner to target the Tea Party, and now he's targeting Trump. See, this is what happens when you let them get away with this stuff. They think they can get away with anything. Now, Biden indicts Trump the day he's accused of taking $5 million in bribes from Ukraine. Are you kidding me? This reeks of a cover-up. How's Trump being charged with obstruction for a crime he didn't commit, but Hillary can smash iPhones to smithereens with a hammer and dunk 30,000 emails in a bucket of bleach? Obama's CIA director, David Petraeus, handed over classified documents to his girlfriend, didn't spend a day in jail. Biden, like he loves to do, confesses to the crime on camera. He tells PBS he's been hoarding classified documents since the 70s.
The best of my knowledge, the kinds of things they picked up are things that from 1974, stray papers. There may be something else I don't know.
And Biden was never president then. He was stealing classified documents out of skiffs as a senator. He had classified documents from Obama sitting in boxes in Chinatown. He had classified documents next to his Corvette garage, wide open, Hunter waltzing in, cracked out with Chinese spies middle of the night. Biden had documents sitting out on the kitchen table while Hunter had foreign escorts at the house. Biden knew he had documents spread eagle all over the mid-Atlantic when he sent agents to raid Trump's estate. Meanwhile, Hunter's out there peddling what looks like his dad's classified documents to business partners in Ukraine for cash. The indictment says Trump was flashing some personal documents around to an author. Probably not the best thing to do. But there was no criminal or corrupt intent. Hillary's servers get hacked. The Obama administration gets hacked. by China? The DNC servers get hacked, and Trump's going to get arrested for waving a document around to an American author? This is crazy. Trump shouldn't be prosecuted, and I was even going to say Biden shouldn't be prosecuted just because this criminalization of paperwork is nuts. And now Biden's Justice Department is going to say, well, we can't indict Biden because we can't indict a sitting president, which is true, but you can impeach.
Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Jesse. I learned some new stuff today. I didn't know Bill had taken some classified documents as well. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I've also seen some other videos from, Trump's lawyers and other folks, like more legal experts, and they were all saying that this is going to go nowhere. It's going to go nowhere. It's a waste of time. But that's what they want. They want to waste time. But once again, I'll ask you guys, I mean, do you think this is going to go anywhere? Do you think anything is going to come out of this? And if it does, what? And what happens after that? I mean, this stuff is getting... I think that, first off, if Republicans don't win in 24, the U.S. is basically over. We have a sliver of a chance in 28, about a 5% chance, and that's it. But as of right now, Republicans are going to win, and by a landslide. By a landslide. And I'll prove it to you in another video, okay? I've got the clips. Y'all know that. There's more, you know what I mean? There's more clips, all right? But then also, if Trump is arrested on something that other people have done, and also, I guess with alleged charges that have already been in court with another president, so there's already a legal precedence, if he is put in jail based on this, America is done. It is over. It is finished. And the Republican Party, as we know it, is officially over. It's done. It's cooked. The Democrat Party will live on for a little while longer until Democrat leadership realizes we don't need Democrat voters anymore. Then they'll throw them to the wayside too, right? And then all of the elites will run the world, and then the Democrats, the Democrats that were still left as Democrats, the Democrat voters will finally realize, oh, Republican voters were actually right. We should have listened to them. And by then it'll be too late. By then it'll be too late. And I'll be looking over there at them like, you dumb son of a... you dumb SOB. You did this. And I don't want to have that moment. I really don't. These are some scary times, man. It really is. And it's crazy to hear some Democrat voters say it's scary times. But they say it for a completely different reason. And it's just like, how do y'all not... Well, I guess I can't say how. I don't know, man. We got to find a way to break through with Democrat voters. With more Democrat voters. We have to. We have to. I think that's the only way. That's one of the only ways out of this mess. Because, yes, once Trump wins in 24, things will be corrected. Not for Democrat voters, though. The mainstream media is going to lie to them and tell them this and tell them that. Oh, Trump's a tyrant. Trump's trying to take over the country, blah, blah, blah. He's trying to be a dictator. You know, that's what left mainstream media is going to tell their viewers. And we need to make it so when they do that, viewers understand that that's a complete lie. Or we need to change the laws regarding the news and make sure that they can't lie like that. I don't know. We just have to, like I said, one of the things that I think we can do is do a better job at talking to Democrats. And like I said, show them video evidence of it. You don't even have to push it that hard, but show them video evidence. Show them the history. Show them the history of Democrats being the slave owners and slave masters, right? Maybe that's the way out. I don't know. Y'all talk to me, please. Let me know how you're feeling about all of this in the comment section below. And if you have any strategies, any ideas on how we can better communicate with, our Democrat friends and family, let me know. Peace and love. Oh, and by the way, check out some merch. Go to DocRichClothing.com. I'm out.